Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. You are tuned into Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Saturday, March 9th, 2024. And we have an interesting show for you today. We're going to be covering a lot of the fallout of the State of the Union. We're going to be covering women acting like animals and arguing over whether how women should be acting. Of course, I'm getting notifications from my own show. I need to mute my phone. I'm sorry. Go ahead and do that now. And of course, it's a Saturday, so we're going to be doing the Love Does Admonish segment. Love Does Admonish. As always, anyone out there in the chat, feel free to say hello, and I will be sure to give you a shout out and a toast. Once again, drinking the Angel's Envy finished rye. I'm kind of hooked on the stuff. I tried to spend some time away from it, drinking some of my Irish whiskey, some of the Redbreast, and some of the local Kansas City whiskeys for a couple weeks, but I'm back on the Angel's rye. So, folks, how has your week been? Well, I guess I just saw y'all 2 days ago, but anyone who wasn't here for the State of the Union or the Wednesday show, feel free to come in, tell me how you're doing, tell me what's going on. Man, I'm getting so many ideas for shows, but I'm kind of building on some concepts, and I was kind of thinking about something. It's probably not a good topic for its own special show. So I figured I'd kind of start here. The internet goes through these cycles where something goes viral. People have their 15 minutes of fame, and then just like the internet does with its TikTok attention span, the internet kind of just moves on to the next thing. And, the meta continues to shift, and then there are all these sub communities and subgroups that have their own sub metas and their own little memes that go viral in these subgroups. And I'll admit, I'm an old fogey. I get on Twitter, I get on Facebook a little bit, but to be honest, my sphere of influence, I'm not one of these lol cow people who goes out and searches to be involved in every bit of internet drama there is. And I'm not one of these people who tries to get familiar with who every single internet celebrity is and dissect, you know, these semi public figures, but I do find some of that stuff interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I find some of that stuff interesting. So I'm not shitting on people who do. Um, but for me, I guess this is a new thing for me. I guess the algorithm is hitting me different, and I've heard from other people. Oh yeah, I've been seeing that shit for over a year now, and I get that partly the algorithm is based on like the longer you watch shit before you swipe, or the longer you or it'll share similar type of content to things that you watch to the end, stuff like that. And so maybe it's just that I started noticing these things more, so I started watching them more, and now my entire feed right now on YouTube, on what is it called, Facebook and Instagram Reels. I don't have Instagram, but Meta kind of puts all their reels together. So if you're on Facebook, it feeds you Instagram content as well if you're watching the reels. Um, so yeah, YouTube Shorts, even some on X, and what I'm talking about are these fucking recipe reaction videos. particularly there are 2 creators, this Tenera Double Chocolate and, Ch Chef Reactions. Guy calls himself Chef Reactions. I mean, these 2 people are literally every other video on every social media platform I'm on. They hit the algorithm. They hit the other side of the algorithm. They've managed to find this niche. And you know what? Yeah, maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's my fault for watching some of these horrible videos too long. But this is a new development for me. Like, I guess other people have known about these people for months and even over a year, but for me, yeah, these are new. This is a new development. It's like every website is pushing these videos at me. By the way, cheers to anyone out there. Cheers. Hadn't taken a sip of my rye whiskey yet. Wanted to make sure before I get ranting too much that I definitely have a little bit of whiskey in me. But you know, and it takes me back. I had Talk with Sally on as a guest, and there was this video kind of going viral on X, and then I found out later there was a creator called Mint Salad, and like that was her thing. Like she just shakes her tits, right? She rants about things and shakes her tits and shakes her ass and puts her ass in the camera, and that's just her gimmick. And she knows that's her gimmick, and she knows that's why things that she puts out go semi-viral, and that's that. I was kinda mocking it, but, that's kind of the thing, and we've seen all of these stories about women posting their body or accentuating parts of their body when they're making content that allegedly isn't about being sexual. We had the calendar gate, we had the cake gate. And I'm now convinced that like 90% of the dudes that were responding to Cakegate with like, "No, you totally can't see her tits, man. It's all about the cake." Hey, we got Still Life over on YouTube saying life on easy mode. Cheers, brother. Welcome. Yeah, hitting that algorithm, especially if you got breasts, is definitely life on easy mode. Me, I don't think I'm ever going to hit the algorithm. I'm not worried about monetization. I'm not worried about popularity. What I am worried about is, starting conversations and figuring out where society is going wrong. But anyway, so I bring this up because, basically, I'm thinking about following suit. I'm thinking about following the meta. Now I realize the meta's overdone right now, right? And I'm late in the game, but I'm kicking myself because 2 years ago, I really wanted to start a channel and roast those life hacks videos. And then, of course, by the time I really started getting aggravated with it, and yeah, like 15 other people were doing life hack reaction videos, and the meta was already there, and I was late to the game, and I gave up. But I'm considering doing some of these kind of reaction videos. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, let me just set this up for you. So this is the chef reactions person I was talking about. I want to watch this video for two reasons. One, because it's definitely relevant to the conversation I'm trying to have, and number two, today, yesterday was International Women's Day, so we had that holiday. And quite frankly, I'm glad it's over, but March 9th is considered National Meatball Day. National Meatball Day. And so this is a chef reaction reviewing a meatball sub video, and I'm gonna kind of give my own little 2 cents to this, but I'm doing this mostly because one, cheers for meatballs, right? Meatballs are awesome, and two, this is the new meta, and I'm thinking about doing this. The one problem is I don't know where to find shitty shitty recipe videos, shitty casserole videos. I guess I need to start looking in mom blogs and shit. But if you all know of any shitty recipe videos that haven't already been completely overdone by Chef Reacts and Tenera Double Chocolate, let me know. Uh, anyway, so let's watch this dude watch this other dude make meatball subs here.
We're just cutting around the top
Okay.
of our hoagie rolls.
That's
We're gonna
how
peel the top of that
Subway
hoagie
did it
roll
back in
off,
the day.
push the insides of our hoagies down to make
Sure.
a nice cavity.
See, I kind of
Cavity.
like laying them flat
Four
instead.
choice of words, but
You know we got to add some pepperonis, so we're gonna
Oh, they
see,
got
I
jar
don't like
sauce.
pepperoni in
Okay.
the middle of stuff. It's the same reason why I don't really like it in a calzone or something. It doesn't get crispy.
Why cut the string
The
cheese in
highest
half?
quality cheese in there, frozen meatballs, not a fresh ingredient in sight. Having said that, it's not the worst thing they've ever made. Like, I'm on board so far.
Okay, now wait a minute. So I gotta call out Chef Reacts here. He waits until the meatballs to call out the not a fresh ingredient, but he already used canned fucking sauce. I wouldn't call. I mean, I guess canned sauce could be a fresh ingredient, but I mean, if you're gonna call it a fresh ingredient, let's stir up some tomatoes and make some tomato paste.
It's a dark period in my life where once a week I would get a meatball sub from Subway, and I hope to never get back to that point.
Brush this delicious garlic butter on top of
Okay.
each of our sliders. Now we're gonna get our squeezable pasta.
And there we go, squeezable pasta sauce.
Squeezable pasta sauce, just a bit on top.
When you already had a jar of pasta sauce sitting there,
Sure.
why are you using squeezable pasta sauce?
Why would you use string cheese
when you
and then grated cheese? It's
Oh yeah, Sanglin says the rolls too. Yeah, those rolls were clearly prepackaged. By the way, Sanglin86, cheers and welcome, brother. All right, let me keep going.
Who gives a fuck?
On top, and our oven is preheated to 350 degrees.
This might be the best thing these dudes have ever made.
Well, he says that, but
it's a low bar, but it's there.
So yeah, to me, I would have roasted the meatballs in the oven just a little bit first, and then you put the pepperonis on top, and then you don't have to cook it as long. Just wait till the cheese starts to. In fact, what you do is turn your oven up just a little bit, so that all you're doing is kind of roasting the cheese on top. Get a little bit of brown and a little crusty on the cheese, and then you don't have to worry about cooking the meatballs because hopefully you'd already roasted the meatballs anyway. Yeah, you don't need to cook it all the way through in the oven. And this is essentially your key to these fucking reaction videos. And I found an example. Yeah, Still Life says low effort. Yeah, this is low effort for me too, but I promise we still have a full show to go ahead of this. I have a lot of shit. Oh, low effort meal. Yeah, but so this is supposed to be the gimmick, right? It's just like the life hack channels before. These are supposed to be, hey, check out this easy recipe. All you got to do is slap it all together and throw it in the oven. The problem is these things weren't meant to be slapped together. And what you're going to get coming out of the oven, we don't know if the middle of those meatballs are still frozen or chewy. I'm assuming they cooked them at a decent temperature, maybe cooked them low enough. And this is a problem with any casserole. This is a problem with all these casserole channels, all these throw everything in one pot channels, is everything cooks at a different temperature. Literally everything cooks at a different temperature. And so what you want on that cheese is you want a higher temperature roast, but on those meatballs, you got to cook them at a lower temperature to make sure they cook long enough for the insides to stay juicy. And anyway, yes, Still Life says the bread should be, and then he corrected himself, toasted and go on last. Yes. So, but that's the gimmick though. All these people on these cooking channels, the recipe channels, like the whole idea is do it all in one pot, do it all in one pan, make it easy because you got 50 kids to feed, but But then Chef reacts, and Tanera, Double Chocolate, and now myself, we're pointing out why that doesn't work for these particular meals. You point out, well, the cheese isn't going to melt, or the cheese isn't going to roast, or whatever. Anyway, let's go ahead and watch the end of this, and then I'll move on because I think I've belabored the point here.
Scoop this out onto.
Why would you cut it like that? Okay.
Yeah, you cut it fucking diagonal.
4.25 would try.
Okay, I think that 4.25 is generous. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think they're going to taste pretty good. But I think they would definitely taste better if the cheese was roasted, the bread was toasted properly, and the meatballs were roasted separately, and you put the pepperoni on top, and you already had a jar of sauce. Why are you using squeezy sauce? Tastes like wet bread. Okay. So we're not going to belabor the point, but yeah, I wouldn't mind doing like a couple specials. If you folks out there know where I could find just some shitty recipe videos, and I'll try to look for some. I'll definitely try to look for some on my own, but kind of let me know. All my social media is down in the description of this video. If you know where I could find some, decent. I mean, when I say shitty recipe video, don't give me chefs. Don't give me people intentionally making garbage. Don't give me like 5-star chefs either. I want people who are genuinely trying to put out recipes for their kids, but maybe there's some fucked up shit. Maybe they're putting some weird ingredients in it. Sangla says 50 kids, buy a roller of foil and some Sharpies. I exaggerate. It's probably more like 5 to 10 kids, but yeah. All right. So yeah. And just for reference, this is the other person I was talking about. Is this person? This was the other. I was originally going to play this meatball video, yeah, but no, that person was clearly trolling, and that's kind of a funny video, but yeah, we don't necessarily need to watch that. Okay. All right, let's do this. Let's get into the State of the Union. Now, we covered the State of the Union on this channel the other night, and I've got to do something. On that stream, after the State of the Union was over, and after we finished the Republican response by Katie Britt, I kind of made a couple predictions. I said, to me, Katie Britt seemed a little like AI, a little bit fake. And initially, that was the biggest story, right? A lot of people came out and was talking about how weird Katie Britt's face was, and her reactions were. And we have another story about the Katie Britt response here in just a minute. But before we get into that, I also said that definitely one of the biggest stories of the night is going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene getting Joe Biden to say the word illegals. Still Life said, sweet lady just can't cook. Oh, wait. He was finishing this. Some people who just don't know better, put their love into food. I don't like to see made fun of. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've definitely seen a few of those videos where people are just making horrendous food choices, but you could tell like they're passionate and love what they're doing. And I'm not trying to necessarily roast people for that, but I think some critique is due. Anyway, so let's get back into this. I said the Marjorie Taylor Greene story would blow up. I said that Joe Biden saying the word illegals blow up, and I fucking called it. So, if you weren't here, let me go ahead and play this video real quick. If you weren't here, let me go ahead and play this video real quick. Share screen. Here we go. So this is the...
I'd be a winner. Not really.
So if you weren't watching at the time, what just happened is Marjorie Taylor Greene got up and screamed, "Say her name, Laken Riley." Okay, the reason she did that is this Laken Riley individual was killed by a migrant in the country, and obviously Republicans are trying to make illegal immigration the big issue of the election, and of course the big issue of the State of the Union. And she's trying to get Joe Biden to say the name of this victim and acknowledge that she was killed as a result of his bad immigration policy. And he fell for the bait.
Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who.
And obviously he didn't get her name right. He said Lincoln, and definitely he's been roasted a lot for that. And actually, there's been fact checks. It's like, oh yeah, he said her name. Come on, fact checkers. Come on, fact checkers. Could fact checkers be any more frickin' biased? Sanglin says Biden looks like a lost kid there. Always. Always.
Who was killed by an illegal.
There you
That's
go.
Right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents, I say, my heart goes out to you, having lost children myself. I understand.
Okay, so we're not going to watch the rest of that. You get the point. But the thing I said was that it would be a big deal that Biden said the word illegals. And of course, we woke up the next day and saw tweets like this. This is from Jesse Brenneman on X. Killed by an illegal is among the most vile statements I've ever heard in mainstream politics. Bro. And Jesse Brenneman was not the only one with that take. There were a lot of people sharing the same sentiments, and a lot of people who had a problem. In fact, I didn't bring up the video. Nancy Pelosi was asked about it in an interview with one of the media outlets, and she said, we tend to use the word undocumented, and kind of slammed him there. But because she slammed him, and because so many people were talking about it, Joe Biden apparently today went on MSNBC, and let's hear what he had to say.
You used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look.
You used the word illegal.
So again, you have the President of the United States gets baited into speaking off the cuff without his teleprompter, and then they drag his diaper, I wipe my butt ass back onto MSNBC to correct the record, to use the language of the far left, because language is a fucking weapon to these people. Language is a fucking weapon to these people. And let me get into this. Let me get into the story that I mentioned earlier about the response, the Republican response, because language is a weapon. And let me stress, these fucking fact checkers, these goddamn fact checkers, they don't care if their own language is correct. They want to berate you for your language and call you a liar any way fucking possible. And let me highlight this story. Let me super fucking highlight this story, because you have this NJ.com out of New Jersey that's peddling this story here. And I'm not going to bring up the clip because there's going to be an accompanying video to this clip that will have the full context that you need to know about. And we'll just listen. We will listen to the woman's words herself. But pay real fucking close attention to this fact check and what they do here. How they will fucking lie to your face. Now again, I'm not here to guard Katie Britt from criticism. I criticized her. I think all the criticism of her in the 12 hours following the State of the Union response was valid. I think she looked fake as fuck, and I think a lot of things about what she was saying was fake. But here you have NJ.com flat out calling her a liar. Flat out calling her a liar. New Jersey, NJ.com, New Jersey, was Trump supporter Katie Britt, doesn't even call her a senator. How dirty is that? Will not even call her a senator. Trump supporter Katie Britt, not Senator Katie Britt, not Republican Katie Britt. Trump supporter Katie Britt caught in a whopping lie about graphic sex trafficking story. So I'm not gonna. I'll kind of skim the article in a moment, but in the article, their research is based off of a tweet. Their research is based off of a tweet, a video in a tweet. And okay, so this is from a Twitter account called Yashar Ali. Let's go ahead and bring this up. And let's watch this video. Let's watch this video as he debunks what Katie Britt said about a woman she met near the border.
So you have no doubt seen this woman on your For You page at various points today. That is Senator Katie Britt, the junior senator from the state of Alabama, who delivered the Republican response to Joe Biden's State of the Union last night. It was weird, but the part that was the weirdest for me, the part that was the most off, was this.
When I took office, I took a different approach. I traveled to the Del Rio sector of Texas. That's where I spoke to a woman who shared her story with me. She had been sex trafficked by the cartels starting at the age of 12.
Okay, now let me ask you in the chat. Does that sound like, okay, she met a woman. Now, again, he's about to say the same thing I'm going to say right now. She's saying it was a woman, and she's saying she was assaulted at the age of 12. Does this sound like she's blaming Joe Biden? Does this sound like she's saying any of this happened under the Joe Biden administration? In fact, I want you to keep listening and hear if she says Joe Biden was involved at all.
So I immediately had questions. Who was this woman? How did she meet her? How did she get her to tell her this story? Also, she seems to be describing something that had happened over the process of years. She said that it started when this woman was 12, and she says that she's a woman now, so it seems that some time has passed. How much of this happened on the border? What country did it happen in? Did it happen before Joe Biden was president? Senator Britt, right after that, stated pretty directly what side of the border it happened on, or at least she implies it very strongly.
And we wouldn't be okay with this happening in a third world country. This is the United States of America.
I don't hear her saying this happened in the United States of America. I don't hear her say this woman did this happened to this woman in the United States of America. No, but it is happening to people in the United States of America. This is the problem with these fact checkers, and this is, of course, if you're too stupid to put two and two together and think that she's still talking about the woman, still talking about this story of this girl when she was 12 years old, and not the woman of today, and not other children, other people getting sex trafficked today, and how the cartels are still violent, how the cartels are still doing this to people in Mexico and then trafficking them to the United States. If you don't understand the disconnect there, then you've got a problem with comprehension, not Senator Britt.
All right, so there's the answer. It happened in the United States. Or did it? So
Or
I
did
looked
it?
a little bit to see
Oh,
if I could figure out
debunked!
what Senator Britt was talking about here. And I found it pretty easily. Senator Britt has told the story over and over and over again since going on this trip. So all I had to do was look for details of the trip, see if there was any information about who she talked to. And
so, okay, so you got this guy who adds his own narrative that he says that he's projecting that she said it happened in the United States, or implied that it happened in the United States, which she did no such thing. And then the NJ.com article, as we're going to see in just a minute, goes one step further and implies she meant it happened in the last 3 years, even though she clearly said it happened when the woman was 12 years old.
And if there was any more information about this case there. And I think I found it pretty easily. So in January 2023, Senator Britt, who had just become the junior senator from Alabama, traveled
I don't think she would dispute any of
Del
this.
Rio district near the border of Mexico with 2 other Republican senators, Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee and Cindy Hyde-Smith of Mississippi. And Senator Blackburn had all of the information about it on her website, her senatorial website. During this trip, among other scheduled visits, the senators had what they described as a round table, although you can see it's not a round table, it's a long table on which they are sitting on one side of it. It's a press conference. They were there with a Fox News contributor, Sarah Carter, who often does sort of the xenophobic anti-immigration.
Oh, look. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You
see, you gotta add in the xenophobic there.
Trafficking activist.
Gotta add that language.
This woman, who the senators identify as
the language
Carla
weapons.
Jacinto Romero. All I had to do was click on Carla Jacinto Romero's name, that hyperlink, on Senator Black.
What happened to Carla Romero was very tragic. Now, we're not going to watch the rest of this guy's video because, to me, the rest of it's fucking irrelevant. He's going to just continue to take what she said out of fucking context because she never said the things he's claiming. He's like, she implied. And this is a problem with fact checkers, is because they read your comment a certain way or they heard your comment a certain way, they just say, oh, you implied it, so therefore I get to debunk it this way. Bullshit. Bullshit. You're the liars. You're the liars. Now, let me remove that from the stage for just a moment and get back to the article. Bring this back. Hey, Singlet says, we found the cartel's best customer. Yeah. Cheers to that. Okay, so in this first article, during her widely panned Republican response to the State of the Union address on Thursday night, fair enough, it was widely panned. Senator Katie Britt of Alabama told a graphic sex trafficking story about a woman who was sexually abused over and over again by members of the Mexican drug cartels on, and here we go, they say on the United States side of the Rio Grande. She didn't say that. You're fucking lying. You are fucking lying. Britt implied also that the woman had confided in the story to her and that the events had occurred during President Biden administration. She didn't say that. She didn't say that. And then they go on to say that in that video, he debunked it. And again, what she said was this. This is the United States of America, and it's past time we start acting like it. President Biden's border crisis is a disgrace. It's despicable, and it's almost entirely preventable. And then, yes, those sexual abuses to that woman happened in 2004 and 2008 when George W. Bush was president. But the point of that story, the point of the story she was telling was that this woman was sex trafficked. And sex trafficking is a huge issue now. Exponentially so when you have a crisis of border crossings, of illegal activity happening across your borders. All right, let me bring that down. So that's some of the fallout of the State of the Union. Real quick, I want to touch on something. You know, whenever you talk about Donald Trump and Joe Biden, you have to be real careful because a lot of people have Trump derangement syndrome. They've gotten their NPC programming that Donald Trump is a monster. And they can't really articulate how he's a monster. They'll say things like he's tyrannical. Look what he's doing to the country. He's dividing people. He makes me feel icky. He says mean words. But ultimately, they don't say how he's bad for the country other than he divides people. He makes me feel icky and he says mean words. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Donald Trump. I don't even consider myself necessarily a Donald Trump supporter. But I do have to defend him from bullshit narratives. And, even in my own conversations with slightly more left-leaning or slightly more mainstream-leaning people in my own life, I have these conversations. And on Bill Maher last night, Robert De Niro had one of these conversations with Bill Maher about Donald Trump. First, and I don't have this clip, first he said, Joe Biden's speech last night. Oh, it was great. I loved it. You know what? Let's bring that up. I had that in my bookmarks, and I don't think I brought it up as one of my topics for today. Let me bring that up if I can. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here we go. Let's bring this up. So remember, like I said, Robert De Niro said, oh, man, such an amazing speech. I loved it. Right? It was a great speech. So we got this from Leah Memes on X.
For too many decades, we imported projects and exported jobs. Now, thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Now, instead of importing foreign products and exporting American jobs, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. To build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Building an economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not the top down. We're the only nation on earth that has always turned every crisis we faced into an opportunity. We're the only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it. Here, COVID-19 no longer need control our
Robert De Niro
Today,
really enjoyed this speech because he's heard it
no longer controls
three times now.
The only nation that can be defined by a single word, possibilities. Actually, I can define it in one word, and I mean this. Possibilities. Possibilities. I'm a capitalist. Look, I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist. Let's pass the PRO Act. Pass the PRO Act. Pass the PRO Act. And extend the child tax credit. And let's restore the full child tax credit. Restore that child tax credit. If you travel 20 miles east of Columbus, Ohio, you'll see a field of dreams. Outside of Columbus, Ohio, on 1,000 acres, literally a field of dreams, our infrastructure is ranked 13th in the world. Used to be number 1 in the world in infrastructure.
Okay, let's go ahead and stop this. Okay, because it goes on for another 4 minutes. You get the point. And let me just say, this highlights, so everything we've talked about today, about the State of the Union, really highlights two glaringly obvious things. One, he's been at this for 3 years and have done none of these things. I guess there are shovel-ready projects already going to build the 500,000 car chargers across the United States, allegedly. I guess there's been a little progress made on that, but this pass the PRO Act, pass this, pass that, child tax credit, blah, blah, blah. What progress have you made, Mr. President? Like, I don't agree with your policies, but even if your policies are winning policies and you're the president of the United States and these are wins for you, what have you actually completed? What have you done? You've now come, as that video has shown, to give a State of the Union where you say you're going to do these things, and then 3 years later, you have not done them. Pretty fucking sus. Then the other glaringly obvious thing is the media would rather be a shield for illegal immigrants to not even use the word illegal, but won't stand up for victims like Laken Riley. And again, the lady that Katie Britt met with. They don't care about the victims. They care about the narrative. They care about the language. They care about using language as a weapon. And now here's Robert De Niro using the weaponized language and not making a single coherent point.
So why is Trump winning? I mean, the New York Times poll this week came out, and maybe this will change it with the State of the Union address, but Trump was beating him rather soundly. It was quite a warning light, 48 to 43, also winning way more among women than he had before, winning outright Latinos. What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I just don't want to feel the way I did, and many of us don't. After the
What does how you feel have a goddamn thing to do with the presidential election?
election in 2016, where we couldn't believe that it happened. The guy is a total monster. And
a monster.
Anybody, I don't understand it. I guess they get.
I guess you're going to explain how he's a monster.
Logic. They want to fuck with people, screw them because
fuck with
they're
people
unhappy
how?
about something. He's such a mean, nasty, hateful person.
Okay, yeah, he is mean and nasty and hateful.
Play him as an actor.
I couldn't play him as an actor.
I can't see any good in him.
So why is Trump winning? I mean,
can't see any good in him. Did you hear an actual coherent point about anything Trump has actually done wrong other than make Robert De Niro feel icky? Ladies and gentlemen, continuing down the path that the United States is currently on under Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. because you feel fucking icky. Again, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't support Donald Trump and all his policies. I don't support the Republican Party and all their policies. But for a mainstream actor to go on national television and not make a single fucking coherent point, but instead, once again, using this weaponized language of he's a monster. And look at how we felt after 2016. Look at how I felt. Didn't you feel that way? And granted, he didn't say that in those words, but you know that's the point he's trying to get across. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take your politics from actors. Sangolin86 says he's attacking the World Economic Forum and Trump. Odd. Yeah, well, Robert De Niro's an odd feller. All right, so now to the title of this video. We'll get into strange women behavior for a few minutes. So Dom Lucre, let me do a side. Let me stray for a minute. Let me stray from the topic for just a moment. Dom Lucre, Jebra Fauché, and who's the other one? Was it? Damn it, Cat Turd. There's been a little bit of a controversy about these people and their watermarks and breaking, they breaking these stories when they're not really breaking stories. And so I'm going to give a little bit of a disclaimer that he didn't break this story. This and again, I'm like him, just like I was talking about earlier with the meta of recipe videos. I think Dom Lucre just hadn't seen the meta around this woman, hasn't seen that she's a quasi celebrity and a following. And so he posted this video and claimed that she's gone viral over the last 24 hours. She didn't go viral over the last 24 hours. She's had a following, and he just saw her. And I know she hasn't went viral in the last 24 hours because it took me 20 minutes to find a video with this chick in it. And we're going to follow this up. And I just called out Jebra Fauché as well. We're going to follow this up with a similar video from her. But so this was shared. This was shared by Dom Lucre. And we're going to talk about the video. Like I said, we just had a little aside there. I had to kind of give that disclaimer that this isn't viral. This isn't new. This woman has existed, but she's new to the radar. And now because of Dom Lucre, now she's going viral. See this woman here? The horse face? Real quick, I gotta pause that. We got a new chatter over there on YouTube. We got Shut Up I Can Cook in the house. Welcome. Welcome, Cookie. Cheers. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Yes, look at this woman's face. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? What in Sam Hill? Okay. Still Life says, where is Cookie? Still Life, if you're on YouTube, Cookie has been deboosted for some reason on YouTube. You have to go up and click I think it's all chat or live chat or something. That you have to sort the chat. There's a chat sorter, and then you can see her. Sangolin 86 says, Bride of Horsemen. Okay, let's bring that down a little bit because she's actually had a following for quite some time. This woman with the horse face. She's apparently a popular EDM. I think in Europe. She's a popular DJ, an actual popular DJ. And so what we'll do is we'll bring up one of her videos. So this is one of her videos. We're not going to play a whole bunch of this because I don't know what the copyright stuff is. So yeah, she's got a huge following. So if you'd hit that, put a 1 in the chat. If you would hit that, put a 1 in the chat. Oh, wait. Great Leaguer said this before I said put 1 in the chat. He says not 1. I don't know what that means, but cheers, welcome. Good seeing you, Great Liquor, and good chatting with you on Cool Frog's channel last night. All right. So let's bring this chick down, and then let's check out this video from Jebra Fauché. I watched a little bit of this, but now I completely forgot what this chick said, so we're going to have to watch it again. So I'm going to have to live react with it with you. So this is from Dr. Jebra Fauché. So after Horsewomen went viral, she had to go viral. Jebra Fauché had to watermark and make a video go viral on her own.
I'd like to know what my neighbors think when they see me outside like this. Because me, personally, if I saw myself walking down the street, I immediately would start being like, kids, get behind me. Like, I feel like there's at least like one person in my apartment complex that when they see me, they're like, Barbara, come here. That crazy bitch is at it again. Anyway, here's my outfit of the day. Oh. Hopefully I can get some cute pictures. Really like.
Okay. So obviously, this seems like a troll to me, right? Like, oh, I hope I make people feel gross because I know I look gross. I mean, this is in your face. I don't think we need to overanalyze this like I do other videos. But, you know, same old shit. But what's up with this? What is up with these women? What is up with these women wanting? I mean, is this going to be a new meta? Is this going to be a new meta of women gluing fucking animal noses to their face? Is this the new hot trend? Right? Get the furries on board? Are we trying to get the furries on board? I mean, whatever grift you got, make it work. Whatever grift you got, make it work. It looks like we're going to wind up going long today because we still have at least one more story before we get to the Love Does Admonish, and the Love Does Admonish takes quite amount of time. Sorry, I had a little cough there. So there's also a new controversy going on Twitter, and I figured I'd kind of touch on it a little bit. There's a war. There's a war going on about hot women versus hot women and whether or not the hot women are hot and whether or not the hot women aren't hot. And so we have to kind of touch on this. So we have this person, Samira on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and look at this person's picture. Okay, so we got this person, right? Criticizing this person in the video. And we're not going to play, we're going to play a couple clips from a couple videos. But she says this accent needs to be illegal and women should be banned from doing manual labor like this. There is nothing feminine about American women. American women are literally men. Now, the person she's criticizing is a content creator by the name of Hannah Barron. Hannah Barron. Uh-oh. Still Life says fish girl. Uh-oh. That's scary. That's scary. So yeah, we'll do this Hannah Barron. We'll just kind of look in on a couple of her YouTube videos.
Neutral off-white color. I don't know how them painters can get that close without getting it on the wood, because if I did it, it would look absolutely awful. But
so we'll kind of jump around a little bit. So this is her.
But I don't trust him enough to not get up and try to do something he's not supposed to do. So
you hear the accent, right?
Me and everybody.
So the woman criticized her for her southern accent, right? Criticized her for her southern accent.
Everybody else thinks he needs to have something with him because he does have a broken neck and a broken back and a bruised kidney. And he's got to wear that brace. And he's already moving around probably more than he's supposed to, because it's Jeff Barron we're talking about here. But
yeah, you scared me there, Still Life. Hannah's known as Fish Girl because she noodles for fish. And yeah, I was actually about to bring that up. Yes. When you said Fish Girl, I was scared because we just had Horse Girl and Pig Girl.
I just left the house to come out.
Cookie says she likes her southern accent. Yeah.
They just got done painting the house, and it looks absolutely amazing.
Okay, so yeah, she talks about all this stuff going on at her house. What was the other video? Oh, I guess I had another video of her queued up. Okay, we'll go back to the Twitter thread. Because yes.
Somebody asked if we hurt these fish when we catch them. Well, for one, we put that zip tie in there. I don't know, we've been doing it for years. This is probably one from this year, but obviously the fish is fine. The way I grab them is when they come up and bite me, I grab them with this hand. That's why I always get chewed up here. And then I run this arm between their gill and their...
So I have to ask the fellas in the chat, is this feminine? Is this masculine? Should a woman be outdoors? Should a woman be working, helping out with construction of a house? Right? Do you agree with Samira? Do you agree with Samira that no, ladies should be, gold diggers, essentially?
Their gill plate. When they're this big, you can run it between without hurting the gills, because see, it's between the gills and the gill plate. Arm goes through, gills are not messed up because all the pressure is going on that gill plate. The fish is fine. We'll turn her loose.
Now, I'm going to say this. She's a very attractive woman. She seems like a very natural woman. And she seems like she's in her element. Now, honestly, I'm not super attracted to her because I like a little more of a cornbread-fed booty. Like a little more of a cornbread-fed booty. But, okay, so Samira then says, Melania Trump. Melania Trump's decent looking. But Melania Trump is the ideal. Right, so don't go fishing when you be a gold digger. And then she says Lebanese women are literally perfect, and has these. But again, it's about the makeup, the plastic surgery, the elegance. I don't need elegance. I don't care if you think American women aren't feminine. They're still hot. They're feminine enough. They're supportive of their men. They're supportive of their family lifestyle, which is way more of a feminine trait than blowing your man's money, than getting simps to pay pig you. And then we have over on Just Posting L's, we have the poll. Who do you find more attractive? Hannah or Samira? I'm going to click Hannah. Samira may have the bigger booty. And yeah, Cookie's right. I like the big booties. Preferably as big as a steering wheel. Gotta have them that big. All right. Anyway. All right, before I perv too much more. Okay, let's do one more video about men and women, and then we'll get into Love Does Admonish. Let's do this. No man wants to raise another man's child and be wait, what the hell? Okay, so she's responding to no man wants to raise another man's child and be the cleanup guy. Pass. And then down in the comments, oh, honey, he's speaking for all men. And so this is her reaction to both.
This comment right here. I really don't think that he's speaking for all men, because I know that there will be somebody that steps up one day to be some sort of father figure for my child. And it's also very, like, I'm very surprised that you felt comfortable actually typing this out and commenting on someone's video. Like, it's just the wildest thing. You don't know my circumstances with my child.
I love
or
that.
his father.
You don't know me.
And yeah, that's basically it.
Why is that the number one go-to argument for these women who have a shitty past? Is you don't know me. You can't judge me. You can't judge me. By the way, I'm going to use that. I'm going to use this. I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to use this to shill. I have an upcoming stream. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I'm still gathering content. I have an upcoming stream. Keep an eye out on my social media. You can follow me on all the social media down in the description of this video. I have an upcoming stream that's going to be just about shame and dignity. So this, you don't know me. I don't need to know you. You're doing something shameful. And again, look, being a single mother isn't necessarily shameful. Let me take a step back and give my full opinion here. There is something noble about being a stepfather. If there's a good reason to. A damn good reason to. And she better be the best damn woman. But this idea that no man wants to raise another man's child and be the cleanup guy, pass. Okay, so this is what she's responding to. If you can have the exact same perfect woman, right? And so you get into the whole, which, by the way, before I do this, shout out to Homath. He's going viral now too, because there's a bunch of Homath videos that are going viral. So shout out to Homath on Twitter. So this is my own little Homath, Homath, what do you call it, tribute here. So you got a woman who's a 10 and a man who's a 6. Well, if you can get that same, if that 6 can get that same 10, sure. You add another man's kid into the mix, that 10's now a 6. Now it's a 6 dating a 6. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But you better be a fucking 10 in personality and every fucking thing else in order to get that 6 guy that you want or better. Hey, neurodivergent one in the chat says widows get a pass. Cheers, brother. Welcome to the stream. Widows are more understanding. I think widows get a little bit of a pass just because you know that, like, the father's not in the picture. The kid needs a male role model. That the father's never going to be in the picture, unlike, you may have, the abusive father who's still out there and can still exercise some legal rights to the kid, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say, okay, you got the 10. She comes down to a 6 for being a single mother, but if she's a widow, if the father's literally gone forever, you can kind of bring her up to a 7.5 or maybe an 8 if she's fucking perfect. I mean, she's got to be an amazing woman. I don't know if she gets a full pat. Like, you can't treat her like a 10. I mean, you literally can't treat her like a 10. Because the thing is, you're talking about a romantic relationship. You're not having a romantic relationship with the kid. You're literally signing on to be a parent to a child that you didn't get to create. Now, granted, maybe you want a child. Maybe you were thinking about, hey, you know, I can't find a woman. Maybe I'm going to adopt. Hey, look at this woman. She's amazing. I guess I don't need to adopt. She comes with the package, right? There are some guys out there that are looking for that, but that's going to be fucking rare. That 6 or better guy, that's going to be rare. No guy wants to just throw extra money at a kid that he already didn't have responsibility for. No guy wants to have the extra stress unless he really gets attached to that kid fast. I mean, you have to get attached to that child. You have to literally fall in love with that child as you're falling in love with its mother. And yeah. Still Life said used to need. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. I missed a bunch of the chat here while I was ranting. Women used to need me. Now they don't because of government and police. And then used to. Okay. So he was correcting me to men. Okay. Women used to need men, but now they don't because of government and police. Yeah. And then Shut Up I Can Cook says, because she got a fatherless baby, now other men should want to rear her child. Yeah. And so this is going to be an endless debate, right? This is going to go on and on and on. You know, this was the same debate that happened 3 months ago with Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh telling men they should wife up single mothers so that we could raise the next generation to be strong Christian men, right? Shout out to Matt Walsh for, cuckoldry. Shut Up I Can Cook says, mild, if the dude is in love with the mother and the kid young enough, the man will take the responsibility. Yeah, I mean, that's just it. Yeah, you have to literally get super attached to the kid and the mother at the same time. And the problem is, I think getting super attached to any relationship as you're building it, getting super attached, it can get creepy. It can get creepy. Luckily, single mothers are desperate enough that it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to push you away for being a little too attached, right? So I think it can work. It's just it takes a lot of navigation, and it takes a really fucking strong man. And I'm not saying I couldn't do it for the right person, but like I said, if all other things are equal, she gets knocked down about 4 pegs because all that stress and financial stress and all that added to a woman's life on top of all the stress and financial stress a woman adds to his life, that's a lot for a guy to take on. Anyway, so we're going to do the Love Does Admonish segment now. So if you're not familiar with Love Does Admonish, there's this YouTube channel called Love Don't Judge. And as I was describing my future shame and dignity stream, Love Don't Judge is built around this concept that, you shouldn't judge these people because their relationships are unique. And what we do here on Miles Culture Plate is we watch these videos and we're like, and sometimes, they have an honest, open, they're really in love. They really love each other, and everything's just fine. But sometimes you kind of wonder, why are they on social media? Why are they putting all this out there on social media if they don't want to be judged? If they don't feel a little bit ashamed themselves? And then so we examine the potential aspects of their relationship and determine whether or not there should really be a little bit of judgment, a little bit of shame, and whether they should do something a little bit different to have a little dignity. And so this is Love Don't Judge. My 26-year-old model girlfriend is out of my league.
This is 26-year-old model Sarah.
Okay, wait. So Love Don't Judge typically takes place in either the UK or Australia. So yeah, okay, maybe she's a model in the UK because British women have a little bit of ugliness to them. Gray Liquor says, I like this segment. Cookie says, not if she's sweet with nice legs. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this chick don't seem model material to my American eyes. Like, she has a little bit of a fucked up face. Now, granted, this pause here, yeah, with the filters, yeah, it's kind of hot. But which they just showed of her, no.
She fell in love with Mason.
Oh damn! Oh damn!
54-year-old retired child star turned
Shout
entrepreneur.
out to this king.
I don't see myself as being in her league. You ready to go?
The couple have been happily together for the last 7 months.
I like this one.
But they have faced plenty of criticism along the way.
Oh, he's
a lot
a
of people
short
have come
king
out
too.
and, like, really?
Holy shit, he's a fucking manlet. Did you see how tall he was? Holy shit.
You're with that dude?
Well, I said
Like,
Mason is a
why?
millionaire from 70s TV.
Now it's getting serious. Will their nearest and dearest accept their love?
Oh, not see
What I
now.
hope
If
Mason
that's
is like-
true, still life.
I'm kind of expecting maybe like a character, you know? Hey, how are you?
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Plot twist. There's a cuckoldry arc in this. Oh, he was a child star on a sitcom. What sitcom?
Hi, I'm
See,
Sarah.
now I'm going to bring this up after the video.
I'm 26 years old.
26.
Hi, I'm Mason. By the time this airs, I'll be 54. You look very pretty.
You look very adorable.
Thank you. There's 28 years difference between the two of us. And, you know, the funny thing is, this is the first relationship of my life with a massive age discrepancy. The last time I dated someone 26 is probably when I was 28.
The couple might not be considered a
What is
natural
it with
fit,
actors and
but
bracelets?
that hasn't held their romance
Dudes
back.
don't usually wear
When I
bracelets.
first met Mason, I thought he was the most adorable person on the planet. I like older men because they're more mature. I just love the way they look. Like, I actually like gray hair and bald guys.
But wait a
I don't
minute.
know, that's what I'm attracted to. Mason and I first communicated through Facebook. I thought he was really intelligent.
I'm not going to put myself down. I think I'm a nice guy. I think I'm a fun guy to be with. I think I have a lot to offer. But the truth of the matter is, I don't see myself as being in her league. So when she expressed interest in actually being in a relationship with me, I think I was as shocked as anybody.
I think the relationship progressed so quickly because we just hit it off right away.
When you first meet somebody and you end up talking effortlessly, no uncomfortable moments of real silence, that's kind of unusual. And I think that she felt that way as well.
He said, I love you about a week into the relationship.
She said it back very quickly. There was no real pause or delay. She just said, I love you too. Back in the 70s and the 80s, I was a really famous child actor. But then the career with
There we
most
go.
young
Yeah,
actors,
there,
you know,
bingo.
kind of fizzled
You
out for a
called it
while.
still life.
I owned bars and restaurants for 20 years here in New York City.
Owns bars and
Retired from
restaurants
that
in
a
New
couple
Oh,
of
they're in
years
New
ago, and I've
York.
kind of been living the life of leisure, really.
Wait a minute. How the fuck is this gangly woman a model in New York? Well, okay, never mind. I just answered my own question. It's New York, where they fucking wear space gear and shit on fashion shows. Okay.
Ever since.
I do adult modeling.
He says he might have a nice tally.
Hey guys, what are you up to tonight? It's not just like a sexual thing. I like to actually talk to people. I like to get to know people, ask them where they're from.
Wait, she
and
does
just start
internet
talking
corn?
about whatever.
You got rid of the cam?
She's a cam girl.
She really
Oh,
enjoys
God.
it. And there are times
Why
when,
is everyone on this
I'll
show a
watch her
fucking
do
cam
something and
girl?
I'll cringe a little bit, because the whole camming thing was something I was never personally into. I don't get jealous. No, I don't really understand why men feel compelled to do this. Usually when Sarah's camming, I'll just be watching television, quite honestly.
Yeah, you got to distract yourself from
I
your
know
lady
that
being
it's a
hoe.
show. The real Sarah is not the one that's doing all the outrageous, outlandish, fun.
Okay, big red flag right there. Okay, so like I said, we have to determine the red flags on whether or not we should judge them. This is it. Okay, so we've already had several red flags coming up, but bam, right there's the silver bullet. Fellas, if you have to convince yourself that your girlfriend is a different person when she's doing a thing you don't like, she's not your girlfriend. Jesus.
Things that she does.
Have a good night.
With Mason's background as a child star, it wasn't long before Sarah was judged for being with him for all the wrong reasons.
I've gotten a few reactions when we're out.
A lot of people have come out and, really? You're with that dude? Like, Why? You know, is it for the money?
Okay, that
Yes.
really upsets
Yes,
me when
it's for the
people
money.
say that I'm with him for his money.
Yeah, if she's a cam girl and she's with a child actor who has Hollywood money, all it takes is for someone at least with a similar kind personality, right? Because you're not going to leave a nice guy who's rich for an asshole because he's slightly more rich, right? So slightly nice guy who's tall, younger, better looking. You're a monkey branch, dude. You're a monkey branch. She's doing it for the money. Now, granted, maybe she has attachment issues and maybe she won't monkey branch because she's afraid of doing the wrong thing. Maybe she'll stay with him for that, but come on. She's obviously in it for the money.
Because I can date 20 guys who will give me an allowance, so I don't need to be with him for his money.
No, that's nice. That goes well with the dress, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Now, here's what I'll say. Maybe, again, I don't hang out with OnlyFans corn stars, right? I don't hang out with cam girls. So maybe she makes as much money as he's got because, he hasn't really been on TV in a while. So maybe she's got as much money as he got. And maybe I'm judging this all wrong. But she's definitely into money. That's why she's camming, right? You don't cam for dignity. You cam for money.
I have been a sugar baby before. It can be like
Oh, okay.
sometimes.
I take back everything.
$300
I
to go to
just
dinner
said.
is pretty decent, but
I've sugar baby before.
ever since I started talking to Mason,
Gentlemen, if anyone in the chat, what's rule number 1 about hoes? Well, you know it. Every guy knows the rule. What's the rule about hoes? What's the rule about hoes?
decided that I didn't want that anymore. I just feel like I'm happy to be in a relationship with him.
Sarah's never asked me for a penny. Never.
Today
No,
is a
because
big
you
day
gave it
for
to
the
her
couple.
before she had to ask.
Sarah is introducing Mason to one of her oldest friends.
I use the mobility scooter
And she's
because
got her own
I've
little
had a couple of
pocket
accidents
money
in
off
my life,
OnlyCam.
and I find that as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm developing a little bit of arthritic pain. So it really is a matter of convenience for us because it's fun and it saves a lot on cabs. Be careful.
Yeah.
This will be the first time any of Sarah's friends have met her new partner.
Okay.
So I'm really excited
Yes.
about meeting Victor.
Thank
That'll
you,
be
Still
fun.
Life. That's exactly the rule I was talking about.
It's the first time in our relationship that I've met any of her friends. Well, hopefully he'll be here soon.
Yeah. My God, Victor, what's taking you so long?
Victor has traveled all the way from Boston to meet the couple.
I've met some of
Now,
her
who is this dude to
significant
her?
others in the past, but I'm really excited to meet this one because sounds very different. In
Is this one of her former pay pigs and
specific
simps?
ways, I guess. Yeah.
When's the last time you saw him?
A year ago.
Okay. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. I really hope that Victor
I'm really
likes him.
excited too.
Me too.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Oh my God.
6 months. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Good to meet you. Good to meet you, man.
He had to look away
That's
when
me.
he was getting a hug.
Good to meet you.
Great to meet you. Oh my goodness.
We had some mutual friends.
Okay.
And then she reached out to me on Facebook just to say hi and something like a friend request. And of course, I'm not going to say
you
no.
pursued him. This is
Kinda, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and
Love
even the
this.
night before that I was supposed to arrive, she sent me a PM on Facebook saying, "Are you still planning on coming?" But by the way, Victor, I swear to you, I like it totally didn't even occur to me that this beautiful, young, exotic, gorgeous creature.
Oh my God.
could
This
ever
makes me
fall
want
for
to
guy
do a
like
whole
me.
rant about orbiters.
Oh yeah, cheers. Cheers. But my intention is to be the best boyfriend that she's ever had. Oh. That's really sweet of you. That's really sweet of you. I mean, she calls me grumpy, old man sometimes, and I am. I'm 54.
No, you're grumpy from the Seven Dwarves, man. What the fuck?
We've had a wonderful conversation, and it's nice to be able to talk to somebody who's also known Sarah for basically a fourth of her life.
Really thought that it would go really well.
I think that we really see eye to eye on a lot of things. It's been really a lot of fun.
So Sarah does actually act different around Mason than I've seen her with other significant others. There's a different demeanor about her. She's not all. Before I could see her on the defense and stuff, and now she's so relaxed. It's beautiful. It's me right here.
Obviously, we're lovers, but at the same time, I think that we're also good friends. I think we really enjoy being around each other.
Yes,
I don't worry about what people think. I'm really
you expect the Justin Bieber character to come along. Let's fuck her together.
I'm happy to be with her.
Okay. Dear Lord. Okay, so yes. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just for a moment give a little bit of a rant about orbiters, because let me tell you, I've been around quasi-internet celebrities, and a lot of people talk. I've heard a lot of people talk. There's been kind of a viral discussion lately about damn it, I'm trying to think of the term. When you start self-identifying with people over the internet, damn it, I can't remember the damn term, but there's been a lot of talk about it, right? And it's the same thing that happened like in the 70s with groupies following bands around, etc. But there's this new version of it where social media and the internet and this kind of interaction has launched people into where their personalities are now being displayed on a very interpersonal relationship with people online, and it's very easy for people to interact with you on a level that they think is interpersonal, like super personal, like you're letting them into your home kind of personal, when it's more of a public relations type of person. And so when I see a story like this where you have this gentleman that was a child actor and this woman who reached out to him on Facebook and wanted to be his friend, wanted to get to know him. Maybe she didn't mean to fall in love with him, and maybe they're actually in love now, but something about this reeks of orbiter syndrome. And it's easier to see the beta simp orbiters for women, right? You'll have a woman that will reach some level of a public eye, and then you'll see all these guys just, here, let me do this for you, let me do that for you, let me help you build your channel, let me help you build your house, right? And they'll do whatever just to be orbiting this woman's space and helping them along and helping them build, because they're hoping that she would see him as, the alpha provider and pick him. Well, I think that might be a little bit of what's going on here, is that maybe this gentleman, maybe she saw a way in to his support network and then was able to use that to springboard to get closer into his inner circle, into his personal life, to cross the line between just a fan, just a member of the audience, and becoming a friend. Yeah, Still Life says groupie. Yeah, groupies. Shubanguk says it's his tally mild plus she damaged. Oh, look, yeah, I don't reject the idea that maybe he's got an amazingly huge penis. He did say he kind of had some issues with arthritis in his hip. So I do question a little bit whether or not he's able to sling that thing in a way that makes her scream. But, look, I'm not going to lie, there was a time in my life where I had some issues and I really learned how to be good with my hands. Since then, I've gotten some medication and that has cleared up just fine. I've had, I've also had surgeries on those body parts. So yeah, everything's just fine. I'm not enlargement, not plastic surgery, but I am a fully healthy 43-year-old man now and able to make that thing, that aspect of my life pretty well. So yeah, maybe maybe he's in some way able to do the same. Maybe he's able to make his hands and other body parts work when his hips won't. So I don't know. Maybe she did say older men have more experience. So who knows? But yeah, it does seem like a thing where yeah, she does. She's already said she's been a gold digger in the past, and as Still Life helped me point out, you can't make a hoe a housewife. You're not going to change a gold digger. You're not going to change a sugar baby. All right, Shut Up I Can Cook says move on, Mild. Well, if I move on, that's going to be the end of the show. So I would like to thank everyone for showing up. Please click that like button. If you're new here, please click the follow button. Please watch a second video on my channel if you're new here. That really helps with algorithms. Wow. It's nice being on StreamYard. We didn't get cut off, and I don't have to do this super fast in a pre-recorded video to upload it back into my stream. Back into the current live stream that's going. But yeah, so I will definitely be live on Wednesday. I'm hoping that I could kind of put together all the pieces for my shame stream sometime before then. I can't make any guarantees. It might be later next week. But yes, so keep an eye out on all the social media platforms down in the description. Follow me on those, and you will be notified when the shame stream goes live. Otherwise, definitely be back here 6 p.m. Central Wednesday night, every Wednesday and Saturday, right here wherever you're watching me now. And until then, thank you everybody for showing up. Cheers. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do get any on you, rub that shit in real good. Have a good night, everybody. See you next time.